Okay, boys and girls, moms and dads, aunts and uncles, children of all ages, I am about to do something with you along for the ride that I'd say would be considered deeply inadvisable. And no, I'm not going to go play golf on this golf course, although I might land on it. This is Queenstown on New Zealand's South Island on a scenic lake surrounded by mountains straight out of whatever those goddamn books are called. The Loop Cycle or something like that. Lord of the Swings, whatever those things are with the short people, with the pointy toes. This is Queenstown, and we are going to fly into it. Subscriber Chris Ross wrote to me, welcome to far north Queensland, because I just flown to Cairns, and he is from Cairns, but he suggested that he said if I'm going to be going across to New Zealand, try some of the world's most exciting, dangerous, etc. places to fly into. Try, he said, an IFR arrival into Queenstown while you're in the South Island. He also said, talking about my molar lisp, he said to me, Marshall, I suspect I need my ears checked, as I'm sure you said you had a moral speech impediment. Well, I've got that too. And then with very dry Aussie humor, he said, thanks again, Mitchell. I was almost named Mitchell, you know. It was either Mitchell, Marshall, or Malcolm. And I am just happy there was no Malcolm, because that would have guaranteed me a lifetime in high school's worth of ass beatings. I would not have had a penny of milk money. Now, the arrival is actually going to be from this way, and we are going to come through this mountain valley here, and we're going to fly out to about here, actually right about here, at 2,929 feet, at which point we are expected to be visual with the field. But then it gets really interesting. If we're not, we're going to fly out this way and fly out that way and do a missed approach. However, if we want to fly into this runway, we will fly a visual circuit in one direction, and if we want to fly into that runway, we will fly a visual circuit around this way. I am not going to do that. I'm not crazy, especially not in a 737. Maybe in the Mighty Dash. We will fly the one into runway 5 here, not runway 23. And let me show you what it looks like. It's totally, totally bonkers. Before I do that, actually, what I want to do is I want to show you the general airfield information here in Lido charts, because they don't even have the approaches. I had to go to New Zealand's Aeronautical Authority to get it, but it says requirements for operators. In order to operate, PIC and first officer, well, we've only got the PIC, should be qualified according to the following. They should have received a comprehensive briefing on NZQN, including AD. Nope, we didn't get that. Local topography and its influence on flying conditions. No. Weather patterns and their influence on flying conditions, only in the most general sense. Specific operating procedures, nix on that. Aircraft performance and other observed limitation, well, that's a strong maybe. They should have satisfactorily completed an approved NZQN simulator exercise in a synthetic training device with specific NZQN AD and local topography features. That's what we're doing now. That's what this thing is. This is our synthetic vision airworthiness directed, fully equipped, all singing, all dancing simulator. So that takes care of that, but we will not have completed it. We are going to complete it. And they should have completed a minimum of 2 familiarization flights in and out of NZQN as an observer or as a crew member on a flight under the command of a pilot currently qualified on the AD and approved for this training. All right, well, no. And I don't think we're going to do it at night, so that'll probably save us. But here's what the approach looks like. We are going to fly to Atkill. Boy, is that appropriate. And then we're going to fly a serpentine RNAV, VNAV descent down this way and down this way into this river valley. And then when we get to here, our missed approach point, we should be at 2,929 feet. And if we can't see the runway, we are to break off the approach, fly out to this waypoint, and then loop around here and hold out here, and then find someplace else to land. Now, here's where it gets nuts. This is the mouth of the sort of inlet I was showing you. If we want to land on runway 23, what we would do is we would fly to QN 611 visually at the circling altitude and circle around to the right, thread ourselves around that hill again, and drop ourselves down. I don't think we have the turning radius to do that. If, however, we're going to fly into runway 5, what we'll do is we will make an approximately 90-degree turn and fly outbound until we get right to the shoreline here, and then start to come around and stuff ourselves back in that inlet over that golf course and onto a runway that's about 5,500 feet long. So, and we've got big terrain here and pretty decent terrain here. Basically, once we start circling here, most of the terrain is going to be above us. So this is going to be slicker than the proverbial rat shit. As you can see, we've got 11,004 and 11,004 all within 15 miles of us, and we've got higher still, a little bit wider out. So this is going to be fun. Now let's just, as we take one last look at Christchurch, I couldn't even get the weather. Couldn't even get a weather briefing on SkyVector on this, so I'm just going to use. Oh, I'm not going to use prepared. What am I doing? Hang on. I meant to start up Active Sky next. I will start up Active Sky next, and I'll just get rid of prepared in 1 second. Alright, NZQN. Ceiling. Let's just kill that. Alright. Few at 2,000. Few. Partly cloudy. There's some hope. 3031. Alright, so 30, 31, more or less. Have we exited prepared? Yes. Okay. And we seem to be getting reasonable frame rates at the moment. This is a beautiful airport. I believe this is from the folks at ISDG, but I'm not sure. It is just strikingly nice. And the other thing is this is New Zealand Pro scenery, which has its own customized mesh and its own customized autogen overlay, and the houses actually kind of look like the kind of houses you'd see in New Zealand, at least the ones I've seen pictures of. So all around, just a great effort. We've got no real wind to speak of. We've set our V speeds. We're going to climb right up to our initial altitude. We're going to expect icing, but I'm not going to turn on the ice protection until we get off the ground. We've got ourselves on flight, got our auto throttle armed. Yes, no. Let's try that again. First let me try disarming it. Okay, and now let me try arming it. Okay, that works. This is X-Plane 10.5 Beta 2. It does have winds aloft, which is great. Except that there are a hell of a lot of winds aloft, so it's not so great. Let's just quickly check our route. Step through our legs right here. So we come off of here, we go to Nicem, and let me just show you just how crazy this is. Alright, so there's Guppet, that's the end of our SID. There's Atkill, so that's the beginning of our approach. And then we thread down through the mountains here, and okay, so there's QN 603, which is really our minimum descent altitude. And if we want to land on runway 23, we could simply follow this LNAV guidance while descending. But really we have to be visual with the field. This is really our missed approach. I'm going to be done with the autopilot by there, or at least I'm going to be done. You know what we'll do? We'll probably switch into a heading mode and spin our heading about 90 degrees to the left. We'll make for the shoreline, and we'll get down to flaps 15, 150, give or take, gear down, and get ourselves fully configured finally on the turn back inbound. So I think we're good to go. Runway heading is set. We should be in heading select mode. We're going to pretend like we're cleared all the way up to the our cruising altitude, because let me tell you, what you can't see around us are mountains. So, with all that said, make sure my microphone is on. Going to release the parking brake, check our flaps are at 5, check our trim, make sure our speed brakes are up, check our rudder trim, it is neutral. We are squawking a code, we are terraing right there, spun down to 0. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare. No, you know what? Before we do anything, we should be in our map mode, and we should have our radar and our terrain on. Because now it will display our terrain heights and it will start to paint it. Check our cautions are clear. Is our APU off? Yes. Little things, have no bleeds. Our heats are on. It says duct overheat. That's because we didn't have our bleeds on. Alright, hope I'm not starting a duct fire. Let's just cool everything down. This is a well-modeled airplane. Alright, well, we're going to count on that sorting itself out. Let's go flying. Alright. Acceleration is normal. Runway's just a little bumpy. Positive rate. Gear up. Looking at no wind to speak of, which is nice. Trim a little nose down. Throw in a little RNAV action. Spin up our speed. Start to clean up. Go into IAS mode. I'm sorry, level change mode. You see, I'm in mighty Dashville right there. And you know, I realize when you switch into level change mode, it captures the speed that you happen to be flying at. So we should probably accelerate, then capture the speed. Alright, into the soup we go. Flying by hand here. We're at climb power. I didn't really set much of a reduction. So alright, since I really need to go upstairs and do a little bit of cleanup work here, well, we can turn this off. And we can turn this off. And I don't want to get too far off course here, so I'm just going to turn on the autopilot while I do other things. Get our lights on. And get our engine anti-ice on. And as for the duct overheat, I hope that doesn't cause us grief. We'll just cool things down a little bit. I don't know if that can be reset or whether something is seriously broken. Alright, go to standard altimeter. As we break out above the soup. Now, let's go into VNAV. Let's see what it does. We're already going to set our auto brakes to 3. Square up our heading bug here. Got a lot of business to take care of very, very quickly. Perf page here, get rid of our planned fuel so that we can get properly calculated V speeds. Alright, we are going to be doing the flaps 40 arrival. Alright, once we get to Guppet, we've got a very short amount of time to at-kill. 1200 or above. We're going to at least notionally set our well, I'm going to wait for that till we hit our cruising altitude. Our top of climb is not going to be too far from our top of descent. And as you can see, one of the quirks of this beta and the IXEG 737 working with this beta is that no matter how you try to turn off the lights, you can't. So, okay, there's our top of climb just before Guppet. And this off here. Go. I always do that gingerly because I always screw it up. Alright, we are pressurizing normally, thank goodness. Still got that, and I'm not sure if there's anything to be done about it. I probably roasted something. There aren't any other fire warnings going off, so caution panel is clear. So I guess we'll just live with it. Alright, so we're leveling off here. And in preparation for the arrival, in a second, I'm going to set our circling altitude. What I do want to do is get an updated weather report. And NZQN 3030. Ah, thank goodness, no winds. Okay, so set 3030 in the standby. And I really wish we had an airplane that was equipped, and this is a private or a company RNAV approach. I wish we could fly this. I'm guessing it's Air New Zealand or somebody, but this is a RNP arrival. RNP 1.5, 0.15 miles. And as you can see, it's got a 700-foot minimum. And as you can see, there is no circling involved. It flies you right down to a visual point, and that is just freaking amazing. So if you're able to do navigation with precision of 0.15 miles or better, you can, if your database and your airplane and everything is equipped, you can do this, which is pretty goddamn awesome. As we're flying across the New Zealand countryside, and it looks pretty damn good. Alright, so our circling altitude is going to be, or the floor on our descent is going to be 2950. Can I go down in 50s? No, so it's going to have to be 3000. Alright. And let's see if the LNAV VNAV capability is actually worth a damn. Okay, at kill we are not going to want to be at 260. We're going to want to be at 215. Period. Let's see if it'll accept it or whether it'll barf. Alright, it's not barfing. And we're also going to want to be, by the time we get here, we're going to want to be at, figure out what my minimum maneuvering speed is for flaps 5. 190 will do the trick. Alright. And we want to be at 180 by there. And by Ikaba, we really want to be at, no, that'll be fine. Make it 170. See if I can do it. Alright, so, having slightly tweaked our approach, and now this has got 4100 at QN 603, and I think we can be oh, wait a second. Yep, I almost killed us. 4100, it's 2929 above the ground. Aha. See now, this is why I'm a threat to aviation. That would have been a bad mistake. That would have caused pain. All right. In a second, we'll turn on the seatbelt signs and start to come down. Not sure what to do about this duct overheat, but I believe we've frozen our passengers pretty thoroughly. We're going to be landing flaps 40. Excuse me. So, VRAF 121. Get rid of this. There. VREF 121, that's about right. The app right there. And we will actually set a circling speed, so I'm just going to bug that right there because that's going to be our circling speed. And where is our descent? Let's find out. In 74 miles, so practically no time. We'll be threatening the lives of innocents. There's our TOD, and there's the jumble that we're going to fly into. With no training whatsoever beforehand. Actually, I'm fairly well versed in what terrain can do when it comes to winds blowing down off of it, rotating. I'm not sure whether that's fully simulated in X-Plane or not, so it's kind of hard to say. I know we've got thermals set, So we will get thermal effects, but I don't know if we'll get the sort of screening effect of mountains and the kind of rotating currents that come on the windward and the leeward side of the hills. But we'll see. So here's our high overcast, and so far at least we can see what we're getting into, and it looks quite nice. Let's just see what it looks like down here. Quite lovely, as a matter of fact. Now this isn't ortho scenery, this is basically just mesh and the New Zealand Pro Autogen and I guess land class overlay. But it's very nice. And we're a little bit into the bumpies though. And this, of course, could be a day that lives in infamy. We'll see. We're right in the heart of icing territory. I'm glad I've got my engine anti-ice on. We are in the heart of it when it comes to temperature. When it comes to moisture, not so sure, but it's -5 Celsius, and so no need to tempt fate. What you give up by having them on is a little bit of bleed pressure. So watch what happens when I turn these off. Well, we're cranking enough engine power that it's not really going to affect it much. Oh, crap. I shut off one of my buses. I hope I didn't shut off the wrong ones. This is what I meant to do. The bleeds don't really do much. Or you don't give up much. Now, are all my instruments okay after I shut down the power? Rearm the auto brake. Check our cautions. We're clear there. Check our voltages. We're fine. What did I shut off? I shut off the hydraulic pumps and the electricity from engine 2. All right. I believe if you shut off both hydraulics, both the pumps here, you'll basically simulate a hydraulic failure, and you can still fly the plane, but you use direct control forces, and it's supposed to be a real son of a bitch. So we'll try that one day, but not on this approach. We need snappy controls here as we approach our TOD, 47 miles away. Okay, there it is, and there's some terrain coming in. And some clouds. Very nice. Okay, well. So far, so good. I'm guessing that master caution is because our ducts are overheating. And either the sensor has failed, or I've totally refrigerated the whole cabin. Is there any heat coming in at all? No. Nothing. Alright, well, we are gonna have a cabin of frozen meat by the time we're through. And I guess that it's not lit up, that's just the sun hitting it, thank goodness. Alright. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be serving drinks on ice on this flight. You will be the ice. Thank you very much. St. Bernard dogs will be coming through the aisles to mix cocktails for you and chip you out of a block of ice like on that Bugs Bunny cartoon. Alright, not getting the world's best frame rates here, but we're over some pretty sophisticated terrain with some sophisticated weather. Top of descent beckons, and I will bet you any amount of money it's going to try its usual tricks, which is to demand drag and then jam the throttles forward to maintain speed. I hope it doesn't. It's not a precipitous descent. So we're top of descent to Atkill is about 35 miles. Well, let's see, 50 minus 29, so it's, yeah, is 21 miles, so 21 miles to get down 6,000 feet is exactly right. Did I miss that? Is that coffee? Yes! I totally didn't see that. That's a cup of coffee in a cup holder, and the coffee has a reflection on it, and it's even rocking around. Holy crap, look at that. Oh. I was a fan before this, but wow. I'm definitely a fan now. That is just bloody awesome. Wow, wow, and wow. That is really cool. Does the first officer have one too? Let's find out. I believe the first officer has a cup of coffee too. Yes, she does. And look at that. As the turbulence diminishes, I think the sloshing around diminishes, but we'll have to replay an approach and see whether the coffee spills. That is just totally awesome. Set up a better view here. There we go. That's about right. Nice three-quarter view. Okay, there we are. Ah, I love not having easy dock. You just line up your view and you hit control and a number key. The downside is you're limited strictly to number keys, so that's the problem. Alright, here we come. 15 miles away from TOD. Make that 12. I don't think the descent forecast works yet. And since we've been cleared down to descend, I'm going to set our altimeter right as soon as we start. I'm going to set it right now, matter of fact. All the way at 3030. Hope it doesn't give the VNAV any conniptions. I don't think it will. We're far enough away from TOD, and look at this, because it's X-plane 10.5. It has winds aloft outside the United States, so that is a big plus. I cannot get over this coffee. That is just way too cool. And Boeing has the good sense to put the hot coffee cup holder below thigh level, which is, and also below any instrument level, so it can't spill on anything important. A very good idea. All right, so now we are going to see how this VNAV works. Because here we go. Just gonna match up the throttles. It's probably going to ask for drag, but we'll see. It's not an unbelievably steep approach. A little bit above it, but we're in good shape. I'm going to get ourselves ready to go well in advance here, because we're going to be busy monitoring shit. Okay, all right. Down we go. Still not asking for drag. That's good. We have checked our altitudes, and let's see, we're 3,000 away and 13 miles. That is eminently doable. Matter of fact, it should, if it were really super slick, would start to slightly shallow out our descent. Because it's going to have to slow us anyway, so it's probably not that bright. No, it's certainly not that bright. Instead, it's rolling in the power. Should we do this manually? You know, yes, let's do it manually. This kind of bugs me. All right, so we'll go to. We'll do it right after. We'll do it right after at kill. No, shit. We'll do it now. We'll set 12,000 right there. Set speed. Set level change. Bring our speed down, for pity's sake. Manage this ourselves. This is silly. Alright, we're 4 miles from Atkill. So, see, now we're doing the logical thing. We're slowing down to 2:15, which is what we should be doing. We're doing it at flight idle. Just letting it slowly bleed off speed here. Alright, down to 8,500 or above. At Atkill. Not 84, but 85. Come on. Come on, Mr. Mouse. There we go. Level change. Down we go. Put in flaps 5. Bring in our range. Now, since we're above the path, I myself am going to add drag. And I'm going to stay at flight idle until we get back up on that path. Now, I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard because I will probably screw something up. Alright, so actually 8,300 or above, so come on. And we've got another 4 miles to go, and we're going to start to slow. Take advantage of the fact square up our heading bug. Be at Onadu 8,300 or above. We've got 2 miles to go. We'll be slightly above, and I don't know why this is saying we're below, because we're at 9,200 and it's 8,300 or above is the restriction. But as you can see, we are above the terrain. Now, the question may be whether we want to fly the visual up the river to the field. Alright, so now we can come down to 7,700 or above. Come on, please. Level change, come down to 180. Are we going to make it? Sure, we'll make it. So we're going to be flying right out that way. Okay, we're doing this nice and slow and easy. Actually make that about 185. That should get us a nice sink. Alright, then we can go down to 5,800 once we make this turn. Alright. Please. Alright. Now, slow to 170. Make it 175. Alright. Bring our heading bug in. We're already visual with the field, I think. Well, we're visual with the lake. At Icaba we can be down to 5,800. I don't like where this mountain is, but boy, it's hugging us awfully close there, but charts is the charts. That's a dumb thing to say if it doesn't make sense to you. And you've got a pair of eyeballs. There's no sense in sticking to procedure and flying into a mountain. Alright, so after this turn we can come down to our platform altitude. It's 4,100 feet. If I can make my mouse work well enough. There we go. Alright, 4,100 feet. Wow, we are really hugging this mountain. Okay, this is a very scenic approach, isn't it? Alright, once we hit the field, we'll come gear down, go to 150, and we'll turn. We'll make our 90-degree left turn and aim for outside of the peninsula. We'll keep this road on the left of us. Okay, there's the field. Alright, so we're coming up on our waypoint, 2.3 miles away. Let's set up a turn so that we're roughly 90 degrees away from that. Oh, this is going to be hairy because we've got fog on the end of the peninsula. Alright. Let's go into heading select. Let's wait just one additional beat.
2,500.
And probably a little less than 90 degrees. Or is it that peninsula? Son of a gun, it's that peninsula. Alright, well, let's do it. Holy shit. Okay, 150. Let's not hit the mountain. Gear down. Flaps 15. We are visual now. We can come down to about 2,000 above the field. Okay, there's our inlet. Let's go down in vertical speed mode. Go down at... No. You rat bastard. My key bindings don't work. Go down about 1,000 feet per minute. We're going to make a turn in a bad direction. Okay, there's our peninsula. So we're going to aim to reacquire right about there.
2,500.
And we'll come back up that inlet. Alright, let's get fully configured. Speed brake armed, auto brake on, igniters on. Okay, this is going to be tight. Especially since I can't really see where I'm going. This is going to be tight. Let's see if I can maintain some visual reference here. Alright, I see where we are. Set ourselves up on a base leg here. And let's just fly this ourselves. See if I can maintain some visual contact with the field, please. Alright, there's the golf course. Runway, please. Runway. Can't get down any lower. Okay. We're reasonably alright. Get rid of our flight directors. Take the throttles. See if we can... There's the runway. Okay. Good show. I don't really have any scenery for this, so... My apologies in advance. We'll just come down to our V app. We've got no wind to speak of, thank goodness. Let's retrim a little. Make sure the trim's going in the right direction. It is.
1,000.
Oddly enough, we're stable, but we have to bring in some power here. Bring our rate of descent down a little bit. No visual aids either. Little bit low. A little bit of a tree. A bit of a cliff.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And a little pilot-induced oscillation at the end. And we'll just roll down to the end here. A little manual braking. And welcome to Queensland. Queenstown. Did I say Queensland? Alright, let's see that again. And we'll look at the coffee cups too. Let's see if I spilled the coffee. Alright, so. A little bit off on my speed management at the end. A bit too much sink. A little balloon. That's a lot of fun. look at the coffee cup there. No, it's a lot steadier. All right. Ah, look at that. That's just a beautiful sight. American Airlines classic colors. Yeah, I'm just fighting for the center line there. Tree gave me a little bit of a scare. Alright, let's see. Could have flared more. Definitely could have flared more. Didn't want a balloon, but that's no excuse. Alright, now, let's check out the coffee cup. I gotta see this. Alright, so we'll come right back here. Alright. Okay, runway, coffee cup. Runway. Coffee cup.
500.
Runway.
400.
Coffee cup.
300. 200. 100.
Okay,
50,
totally
40,
steady.
30, 20, 10.
Oh, will you look at that? Will you look at that? Good gracious, will you look at that? That is simply fabulous. Bravo, bravissimo. That is so cool. And that is the big flight. And thank you, dear viewer, for the suggestion. So I think what we'll do is we'll look for some scenery for here, and then we'll depart from here to Wellington, and thence to Auckland, and thence, I think, to New Guinea or New Caledonia or someplace like that. But in the meantime, I am just having a blast flying down in these southern latitudes, and I cannot wait to come visit, because this is just, you know, there ain't no substitute. So, thanks everyone for watching, and see you real soon.